Hello, I'm Dr. Monroe.
Hello, Dr. Monroe. Tatiana.
It says here you like to be called Tati.
It doesn't matter to me, really, but Tati will work fine, I suppose.
Sounds good, Tati. Now, you aren't from around here, are you? Miami?
Yes, I'm from Miami. I moved here when I was in 8th grade.
Tell me about the changes you faced moving here. Do you enjoy living in North Carolina?
Yeah, I love it here, and much more than Miami. It was a little hard at first.
Why was it hard?
Well, as far as school went, I was kind of an outsider. Hispanic kids tried to make friends with me, I think, by coming up to me and speaking Spanish. They would walk away when I elaborated. I didn't.
How did that make you feel? Were you offended?
A little bit, I suppose. At that point, I didn't know I was part Hispanic, so I hated that people automatically assumed that. Really irked me.
What do you mean at that point?
When I was a little older, I found out that I had a different father, whom was Hispanic.
Did that upset you?
At first.
How come it doesn't anymore?
I learned that my background doesn't have anything to do with how I act, really.
Elaborate.
At first, I used to hold on to the fact that I wasn't Hispanic. I was Haitian. Caribbean. After learning that I was actually part Hispanic, it didn't change who I was at all.
That you came to that conclusion. Did you have any other issues when first moving to North Carolina?
The list can probably go on forever.
Well, tell me something else that had bothered you.
No, not really. College has changed me, but I guess we'll get to that later.
Of course. Continue with high school.
Well, my entire middle school thought I was gay. I guess I dressed like a tomboy a lot, and that was almost automatically assumed. Random kids would ask me just in the hall. Other kids would point and start talking amongst themselves. Ugh, it was pretty annoying.
Were you angry?
Maybe. After a while, I just realized it probably wasn't their fault. They learned it from somewhere.
So what did you do when they asked?
I answered honestly. Hoped they'd understand the error of their ways.
Well, how was high school?
It was good for the most part. I only stayed in band.
How was your high school?
I suppose it was an okay school at most. I really liked most of the teachers. The principal and assistants were kind of annoying. Test scores this, test scores that, EOC this, EOC that. Couldn't catch a break, really.
You really liked the teachers. Did that make you want to become a teacher?
Yeah, at first, at least. I was really dead set on becoming a teacher, but that changed as well as I did.
What kind of teacher did you want to become when you first wanted to be a teacher?
I first wanted to be a math teacher. I mostly hung around the math department. Then I went gung-ho for band and wanted to be a band director. Music became who I was.
Do you have a superb band program?
Not at all. Our band program suffered quite a bit financially. Still does. They built a second gym, but no new instruments or music. I really don't think that is very fair. I can't afford lessons, so band was the only way I was getting music in my life.
How are your finances at home?
Well, I live on my own. I presume you mean when I lived at home?
Either or.
Well, I struggle now working at a fast food place. Sorry. But it isn't too bad. We always struggled with money after my first stepdad, I guess, got laid off. Mom worked at a grocery store. Dad worked at Walmart. Money was super tight. Moved every year. Struggled a lot.
How did that make you feel?
It was hard, I guess. I never paid attention. I was always kind of enjoying what was given. It's funny to think about those things now. But I came out as a better person now. Appreciating a hell of a lot.
Well, I'm glad things have gotten better, so tell me about college.
Well, life got better. I was still in band. I loved being on my own. I craved independence so much, and finally got some of it.
Did you enjoy being a music major? That's what you started on, right?
Yeah, I was a music education major at first. It kind of felt like high school again, belonging to a large group of people, automatically. But I soon hated all of it. I didn't want to do music anymore. It nearly killed me every day.
What did you change next?
I changed to elementary education. Good thing I didn't have to take out many loans. It helps to struggle sometimes.
You mean financial aid. Did you enjoy that major?
Yeah, it seems going to college is easy if you're rich or if you're poor. Either way, it gets paid for somehow. And no, I did kind of enjoy it at first, but realized it wasn't for me.
Did you waste any classes for that major?
Oh yeah, music killed me. As far as elementary ed, I only took 2 classes for it. A digital teaching class, and a social justice class.
Well, what do you want to do now?
What you do, in a sense, a psychologist.
Oh, well, I can see you doing great things. You've
Thanks.
had a lot of experiences.
Yeah, it was thanks to that social justice class that I've learned even more.
Elaborate, please.
Well, I thought I was pretty open-minded and knew a lot about all the isms, fitting into most of them myself. But I had no idea about a lot of things, and still don't.
Are there anything you want to change or do differently?
I changed my ideas about chivalry.
That's interesting. Most young ladies at your age always expect it.
I realized that we watched this documentary in class called Tough Guys. It really hit hard. But all in all, I realized it's wrong to expect something more of an individual and not expect it of you. That doesn't show equality at all. Not to mention how stressful that is.
You never thought of it quite like that. Anything else you've changed your mind about?
I don't know, I'm more aware of my feelings towards minorities and majorities. I know that I have a lot to learn, but this class was good for any major, really. I'll have to talk to people about how they feel and why. I know I can relate to a lot of minorities, but at least now I can understand to some degree about the majorities.
Well, this is a really good session. You seem to have a lot more to learn, but have learned quite a bit. Well, that ends our session. I look forward to seeing you next week, Tati.
Thanks, Dr. Monroe. I enjoyed this. Kind of like a look into the future of what I'll do. So thank you. I'll see you next week.